Thank you, Mr. Moderator. 2020, the year the COVID-19 pandemic took the world by surprise, also exposed the generosity of the Covenant Church. The crisis season of COVID-19 created multi-layered trauma in our communities. Our communities faced the fear of being infected by COVID-19, death, job loss, lack of child care services, increased domestic violence, isolation, anxiety, food insecurity, lack of medical supplies, small business closure, exhausted healthcare workers and other first responders, and many other challenges. Times of crisis expose the vulnerability of those on the margins and the reality of their need. When the Good Samaritan passed by the man who had been beaten on the road to Jericho, he was moved with compassion because of the crisis he witnessed before his eyes. He had the choice to serve or to move toward his own well-being and personal security. Amidst the fear and uncertainty, our covenant churches throughout North America chose to look beyond their own needs to serve, to heal, to feed, and to partner with others for the holistic transformation of their suffering neighbors in a time of crisis. The Covenant Church, which desires to join God in making things right in our broken world, set the stage to care and support our conferences and churches as they responded to serve their neighbors. In 2020, we launched the COVID-19 Financial Relief Initiative, thanks to the collaborative efforts of the Covenant Executive Board, Covenant Ministries of Benevolence, Covenant Offices team, and our generous donors. This initiative focused on providing care and support in 4 different areas of covenant life and ministry. Short-term, interest-free loans were provided to local church conferences and camps. Global relief grants to the global church as we walk alongside partners serving marginalized people around the world. Missional relief grants to churches so they could help care for their communities in response to this pandemic. And the Ministers' Crisis Fund for Covenant Clergy, which helps us care for our pastors' personal needs, such as counseling, health care, or emergency home repairs beyond their local church's ability to provide. Love, Mercy, Do Justice focused on administering the missional relief grants, which were provided to churches who needed financial support to respond to the needs in their communities. These grants were invested to strengthen communities that were gravely impacted by COVID-19. Through emergency financial support, health care and mental health care, food security, community economic development, and remote educational support of students, the Love, Mercy, Do Justice Mission Priority Team came together alongside churches to fulfill the call to love neighbor and stranger alike. One of the church communities we came alongside during this time was Shalom Iglesia del Pacto and the River Church community in San Jose, California. Their community outreach was focused on providing healthcare services through their Healing Grove Health Center. They provided free COVID testing. The Missional Relief Grant helped them test 1,389 low-income residents in this under-resourced community. With the Missional Relief Grant, they were able to support more than 200 people whose test results were COVID positive. These individuals were supported with health care service referrals, actual health care, food, financial resources, and spiritual support. As a result of the Missional Relief Grant, they were able to go further in mission through their service to the community. Another example is Mosaic Covenant Church in New York. They serve those experiencing food insecurities during the pandemic. To their surprise, they were able to partner with the New York Sanitation Department and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. After Mosaic Covenant Church received the Missional Relief Grant, The New York City Sanitation Department started providing food for their community efforts, which gave them an additional 2,000 to 4,000 boxes of food each week. Every week, a city semi-truck would deliver food to stock their food pantry. When Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez found out about their program to feed their food-insecure neighbors, she honored their work and responded by also providing regular deliveries of food and supplies to serve the community. Another example is Nuestra Esperanza Covenant Church in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. They were able to serve their neighbors by providing emergency financial services to cover rent, gas, water bills, and other basic needs for immigrant Latino community members who had been laid off from service industry jobs. To date, the Financial Relief Initiative has advanced God's mission by generously distributing almost $1.3 million to serve our communities and churches all around the world. Domestically to date, the Missional Relief Grant has been granted to 52 Covenant churches to serve the communities outside the walls of the church. Covenant churches from all 11 regional conferences have participated in this effort to exemplify further that together we are 3 strands stronger.